Aqua gang, what it do, you guys? It's your girl, Empress 777 here today with a general message for my beautiful Aquarius soul family. This is going to be for those of you who are loosely involved, trying to figure it out, wondering if it's gonna work, kind of there, kind of not, okay? Somebody has a lot to say. They have a lot of emotions kind of back and forth. So without further ado, we're gonna jump right in, guys. Please go ahead and click the like button, the subscribe button, and the notification bell. Okay, we would love to have you come join the family. We have a lot to unpack here, so we're just jumping right in. We've already cleansed the energy. We have a pretty action-packed pre-shuffle going on here. The energy here is a little bit light, but it's very serious as well. So that just kind of speaks to the inconsistency that I was feeling overall. Please keep in mind that the messages are general. Take what resonates with you, leave the rest. Okay, don't force anything to fit over here. Aquarius, Sun, Rising, and Venus signs. Okay, cross watchers, you are also welcome here. So just place yourself where you belong in the storylines and we move. So, hot and cold. You deserve better than my hot and cold behavior. This is mirrored energy, you guys. And the way that I'm feeling this card in particular was the only card that came out of that deck. It kind of flew across the room, okay? So I took that as a signal that the both of you are kind of frustrated with the inconsistency, and that is what is creating this stagnant energy. Now, what they want me to say before I start rambling on, right? Not rambling. Before I start really digging into things or digging into the nitty gritty, right? And giving you some answers in reference to who you're actually dealing with, because I feel like your inconsistency stems from you not understanding or you not knowing if this person is genuine, right? Are their feelings towards you real? Are they just trying to bag you and, you know, put that notch under their belt and, you know, feed their ego? You are having second thoughts about their intentions, point blank in the period. But before we get into all of that, they do want me to pull, or they want me to discuss the last card that came out, right? So we got all of this bullshit. I'm sorry. It is BS, guys. Okay. It's just a lot of muck is what I should say. It's a lot of noise. It's a lot of noise. Okay. We start out with the 9 of Wands, right? So it's starting out already off on a wrong foot. The two of you could have started out okay, but it got off on the wrong foot rather quickly. But this does feel like something that's been on and off, okay? So we go from the 9 of Wands, which is like the wounded warrior that's like going through a lot in a relationship without really having solidified a real relationship yet, not really knowing a person. Is sort of giving the energy of, especially for it being the first card to come out, it feels like we haven't even been talking that long. Why are we arguing all the time? Like, why are we going through all of these changes? Why is there so much, it's just a lot fast, right? Very intense, quick. It's like, I just met you, or we've only been talking for X amount of time, yet I feel like we're arguing like an old married couple. I feel like we're arguing like somebody who's been together for years. In fact, we haven't even committed to each other, so why are we arguing as if we have, right? So it could be any of those things, right? Anything in between. And then the very last card that comes out is love, right? So I feel like the both of you are struggling with, should you walk away from this, or should you like kind of duke it out? Should you kind of like just figure it out? Okay. Very next card after the 9 of Wands is the Page of Pentacles, right? So it's like, okay, I'll give a little bit, right? Like, I miss you. I don't quite like how heavy the energy is. This is either you or them speaking. Okay. I don't like how heavy the energy is, but I also recognize that there's something there. I want to figure it out. I'm not going to give too much because I don't really know who I'm dealing with right now, right? Like, I don't know if I can trust this. I don't know if this is safe with the Page of Swords. So I feel like the both of you are holding your cards very close to your chest. It could be a lot of pride getting in the way, you guys, right? Because I feel like at the core of things, you both like each other. You both are feeling these energies or these feelings, right? These emotions of like, it could just be like, right? It could be admiration. It could be, you know, just an extreme attraction. There's chemistry there. Like, all the boxes check off in a certain area, but then in other areas it doesn't. So that is where we get this inconsistent energy, this push-pull. And what I also felt with the hot and cold energy is like, not just on and off. It feels like it's hard to get on one accord at the same time. So we have at the very center of this reading, the Eight of Swords, right? So it's sort of like this person could have been really into you in the beginning and you were like kind of just like, yeah, I just want to kind of get to know each other. Like, I'm not that pressed. I'm not like, you know, I'm not trying to rush things. I like you, but slow down, right? So into them, but not as much as they were into you. And then at some point it flipped. So you could have been really into them after you had gotten to know them more, right? But because they had a bad taste in their mouth or their pride kind of kicked in, like, well, you wasn't feeling me like that before, even though they very much so like you, it's still like, well, I'm not going to give you that energy because you didn't give that energy to me. So it kind of, you're missing each other. So when one person is feeling it very deeply and heavily, the other person is possibly not. And that is what we are struggling with, right? Hot and cold, hot and cold. Somebody is really hot, right? Wanting to come towards that person, wanting to spend a lot of time, wanting to communicate, like really feeling like, yeah, this is going somewhere. And the other person is like lukewarm or cold. I don't really get cold. I feel like it's either somebody is extremely hot, you know, like on it, like really feeling this person, thinking about them all the time, kind of, you know, wanting to know when things are going to finally take off, asking the questions, the what are we, the where are we going, you know, how are things moving, you know, kind of reaching out more, initiating dates more and initiating communication more, potentially buying the gifts and stuff. And the other person is just kind of like, meh, right? And then it flips is what it feels like. It's just a lot of noise in between and a lot of ego, guys. I just have to say that, right? We all have an ego, even though we've potentially, especially if you're here, right? You've gone through an awakening, you've gone through a transformation, you've potentially gone through your death of the ego. That doesn't mean that the ego is gone. That just means you don't predominantly listen to your ego. You don't lead with that, right? And you got it in check to the point where it's not acting out in a toxic manner, right? So I don't get any toxicity here. I get like puffed up pride, okay? So you feeling me now, but just a few seconds ago you wasn't, right? Just a few seconds ago you was lukewarm on that ass. Like, so what's up? You know, like, why should I then give in to you when just a moment ago you wasn't really feeling me as much as I was feeling you? It could be a little bit of, you know, of a bruised ego there, guys. Okay? Again, place yourself where you belong in the storylines. If it sounds like I'm talking about your person, then so be it, and vice versa. So the middle section is really where we're getting to why there's so much stagnation. And I feel like the two of you argue a lot. I feel like there are a lot of fights. So there's a lot of passion. You're both very passionate about life in general. But when it comes to something that you're standing 10 toes down on, if you guys are in a debate or if it's about morals and values, nobody is saying that you need to sway on that. But I feel like you get into these debates, but then because you're both so passionate about what you feel, about what you're saying, it's not that you want to be right. It's that you think that you are right. Like you feel like your side of the story is correct, you and them, right? So it's like bumping of the heads. It's really hard to come to an agreement, to even agree to disagree. It's like, I'm right, you know? And all of that passion, I feel like, is misleading the two of you. I do feel like that, guys. I have to be very honest. Okay, we have the Five of Swords at the bottom of the deck along with the Eight of Cups. So it's like you come together, you have a great time. It's very passionate. I feel like the two of you, if you are sexually intimate, they're putting that out there. I feel like the makeup sex is just like out of this world. Out of this world. But because of the back and forth, of the inconsistent energy, the hot and cold nature of the connection, it's hard to build the trust. Okay, this is why we have stagnation. This is why we don't have forward movement. So you're both pretty much confused. Should we just get on this boat and go our separate ways? You know, we don't get along clearly, right? We're arguing at every turn. What they are saying is what you don't know, and what they don't know also is when the two of you disconnect from one another, or if you just, because I don't get that the majority of you have committed to each other in a union. I don't get that the majority of you have had a title with this person. It's kind of giving very much so situationship vibes. But just take that how it resonates, okay? But I feel like when you have an argument and you're like, I need to cool down. I'm not talking to them for a couple of days. I'm about to put you on ice, bitch. Like, please, you know, ignoring the calls, ignoring the text messages, right? Feeling very riled up. The both of you are in hermit mode. You're not dating anyone else. You're not going anywhere else. You're only focusing on one another. You are mad, hot as fish grease when the two of you have had an argument, a blow up, when things are going in disarray. It's not like they're hopping on to the next person or you. It's just you're at home. You're just kind of sulking. Is what they're saying. And this is also why when you come back towards one another, even though we do have a pentacle here, it's the Page of Pentacles, right? Kind of dipping the toe in is, you know, like, I miss you kind of thing, but still not willing to give that full big daddy, big mama offer. With the King of Pentacles here, right? Trying to save face pretty much. And this is why it's not moving, guys, okay? With the Strength card here. Strength card can be like stubborn. Stubborn energy, you guys, for sure. So the Chariot is crossing the 8 of Swords. You're very much so still attached to each other. You still like each other. You're still into each other. You both want things to be victorious. But there's something that keeps getting you to this juncture where neither one of you can, like, just give in. You're both fighting against whatever your single self says is right? Because we have the 9 of Pentacles there. You are both very much so self-sufficient on your own. You don't need each other, but you do like each other. And for some of you, you have grown to love one another. They want to bring an end to the cycle, okay? So beneath the Strength card, we have the 6 of Swords. So I don't know if there's already been this huge blow up, 10 of Swords right below the 6 of Swords, where you feel like it's done or they feel like it's done. But energetically, you can't seem to release each other. You can't seem to move on. You can't seem to let go. Now, while I did just mention that the both of you are very much so able to be alone, happily single, there's still this kind of pull that the both of you are going to be feeling, or you already are currently feeling that, okay? I don't get that it's happening at the same time, which has been the issue with this connection all along. It's like, you'll feel a pull and they don't. They'll feel a pull and you don't, right? Like, and it's been very hard to kind of get on one accord, or to get in a space where you're both feeling the same thing at the same time. And it may give you the impression that it's not equally yoked, but it is, guys. It's just a matter of both parties putting their pride to the side, if you really want this, of course, right? Like, I see beautiful potential here. It looks like a lot of miscommunication. It also looks, like I said, like a lot of pride, you know what I mean? Instead of giving the King of Pentacles, which both of you can give, that's a very stable offer. It is longevity. The King of Pentacles is ready to commit. It's not necessarily, it can be marriage. It's not necessarily marriage though, okay? In my decks or in my readings, my marriage cards would be like the Ace of Cups, the 10 of Cups, right? The 10 of Pentacles, right? The Ace of Pentacles. That is what I would signify as moving to that level. The King of Pentacles to me is like finally saying, listen, I am not dating anybody else. When we are on the outs, I'm not fucking with anybody else. I don't want to fuck with anybody else. I like you. I love you. I want to be with you. I want to see where this goes. I want to learn you, right? Like, I want to get to know you more. I want to get to know us more on a different level. I'm willing to put my pride to the side and let you know that, even though I don't know if you're going to reject that. I don't know if you feel that way right now. I'm going to put on my big girl panties, my big boy drawers, and just say it, right? Just put it out there. And if you so happen to be in a space where you're not feeling as intense as I am, then that's fine. But at least I put it out there, right? Like, at least I made my intentions known. You're both struggling with wondering who has pure intentions, and instead of just having the conversation, you are fighting about frivolous bullshit. Okay, I'm just gonna say it, right? Like, just having dumb arguments. And it is because of the lack of security that you feel in the connection. So you're trying to get that respect, or trying to get answers everywhere else but where you actually want to know. You want to know if this is going to be successful. You want to know if the two of you are able to have a victorious connection, right? When is there going to be forward movement? So I feel like, unbeknownst to both of you, you are both in a sense triggering one another's, like, I would say abandonment wounds. So it's sort of like this thing of not wanting to be, you know, having too much pride to kind of like be like, I want to know where this is going. Do you like me? Right? Because you kind of want to save face. You want to avoid rejection, so you don't say it. But you do want to know. You know what I mean? Like, you do want it. Both of you do. Or you at least did. Now, keep in mind, tarot is fluid, guys, right? I can't tell you what it is that you want, but all the cards are pointing towards both of you wanting to give up this single life. Because when you're not with each other, you're still not with other people. Okay? There needs to be a level of compromise. That is it. Point blank and period. Let's find a way to compromise instead of giving up on us. And this is where this person's thoughts are at this time. You, of course, and they're also here. Right? They want to compromise. They also want to make up, if you will. For some of you, they may feel like the two of you need to travel and you need to possibly have some time alone with each other. The communication in this connection has been fucked. I'm just going to say that, okay? It has not been good. This is what has been causing so many delays, so much confusion, and drawing your own conclusions, because for some of you, you may feel like, man, this is not even worth it, right? Like, it has not been worth it. You both have walked away several times to go towards what you deem to be your own happiness, but you haven't been able to get one another out of your minds. I ain't been thinking about him. She ain't even on my mind. I don't know what the fuck you talking about, Empress. Okay. I mean, that's what the cards say, though. So we have differences. You are different from what I'm used to dating. And that could be true for both of you, right? But it still doesn't negate the fact that you are very much attracted to those differences. You're attracted to it. It's sort of giving the opposites attract type of energy, even though I don't feel like the two of you are polar opposites. I feel like you have quite a bit in common. It's the lack of speaking up. Nobody is speaking up. Nobody is saying, like, I love you, like, I like you, like, I want to be with you, like, I'm not dating anybody else. So it leaves so much room for everybody to draw their own conclusions and then eventually be like, okay, red light. You know what I'm saying? This is not for me. Fuck it. Like, you know, every time that I tried, right, you said that every time that I kind of thought that you liked me and then I came toward you, I would travel towards this to try to get some movement going. I would get the cold shoulder, or I would get, you know, it is what it is, or an indifferent type of attitude from you. And I'm not willing to subscribe to that. It didn't feel good, especially to your pride. So it's best to just walk away. It feels better to just remove yourself. But then when you remove yourself, you're still thinking about it. You're still focusing on it. You're still yearning for it. You still are wondering, you know, did I make the right decision? Did I make the right move? Now, I ain't saying this. I ain't say this, but this will pop out. I'm going to win. I'll look better, do better, and get someone hotter. I don't really feel the last phrase, because clearly the both of you are in hermit mode, but this could be a story that either you or them are telling yourselves, like, shit, when you walk away from me, you probably with a whole bunch of other bitches. You probably with a whole bunch of other dudes. You probably, you know, doing whatever, right? That's not happening. When you're apart, you're alone. Neither one of you have taken the dive forward to date other people when you're not together. But the desire to win is very much so prevalent here. I feel like it's a need or a desire to win against your pride, right? Like, to not have your pride lose. Now, that can appear to be toxic, but I don't get toxic energy from it. I feel like you're both doing it, and I feel like it is miscommunication. Like I said, the communication in this connection has been all over the place. So you're both getting this idea that you're playing around. Like, so when we're not together, you're out playing. You know what I'm saying? That is not happening. We got the Hermit card. So let's focus a little bit more on this person, is what they want me to do. They do love you. They are stating that they love you, that they are into you more than they've been into anybody, right? They would rather fight with you than to be alone or to be with anybody else, is what I'm hearing. But I'm hearing, well, we don't want to be fighting all the time. You know what I mean? And it's fighting over stupid shit too. Yeah. Incomparable. No one has ever made me feel the way you do. You are irreplaceable. So I feel like this person is getting ready to just put it out there, right? Like, put it all on the line. Stop playing these games, whether you are on par with this or not. They feel like it's something that they have to get out. They feel like it's something that they have to at least try. Otherwise, they may regret it forever, right? So they're having these kind of thoughts now. They are trying to remain strong, but I feel like they just, you know, they're trying to remain strong, but they still at some point in time feel weak. Okay. It's not that they think emotions are weakness, but they may feel as though this is something that they aren't able to control, right? Like, so this might be somebody who's like, I can control my money, I can control my job, I can control my kids, I can control, you know, multiple things in my life, but this I am not able to really gain a hold over. Like, I can only just tell Aquarius how I feel. I can't do anything about their response, right? So if they want to remain single, then I'm just shit out of luck, but at least I said something. I feel like this is somebody who wants to take things to the next level, whatever that is for the two of you. If you've already been in a relationship, quote unquote, then they want to go to the next level with things. Okay. They're coming in with a very solid offer. I feel like they're going to step into this King of Pentacles energy if you'll have them. They might be an earth sign for some of you. Okay. We got Virgo here, Capricorn, Taurus. We have let them go, and that came out crossing, right? So there is still that back and forth, back and forth. Do I say something? Should I just let this go? Do I say something? Should I just let this go? It would be easier to just let it go, but it'd be more painful to let it go and just continue to think about whether or not I made the right decision or not. The easiest route would be to just walk away from it, to let it go, but then your brain says something else. I'm talking to your person. You could just walk away. Right? And then it won't require you to put your heart on the line. It won't require you to put your pride or your ego on the line. There's no danger of being rejected, right? There is no risks. But there's also no risk reward. Okay? I need you to understand that. You don't take the risk, you don't get the reward. No. So we have lessons. I'm learning my divine lessons and will soon be by your side. Yep, they're speaking it into existence. And we have can't be trusted. That's also coming out crossing. Did I not say that? Going right over the Ace of Swords. It's like neither one of you are like, you're like, can I trust you? Like, I just don't understand, right? It's just not, it's not falling into place the way that you thought it would. For some of you, this is your person, okay? You've never fought with anyone this much. You've never had somebody get you this frustrated. You've never had so much annoyance before, but you've also never felt so comfortable. Okay, there's a lot of comfortability here. There is good shit. They're only focusing on the obstacles at this time because either the two of you are in separation currently or you're at an impasse, right? And something has to give. But for some of you, this is your person, right? Like, so it's sort of like that energy of, I know that I feel something for you, but I also know that something is missing. And the thing that's missing is neither one of you are being honest or open about how you actually feel about one another. You're both keeping it very close to your chest. It's a protective mechanism. It's not toxic. It is a defense mechanism for sure. We have family. So there's that comfortability there once again, right? And that's also what's making it impossible for this person to just walk away. They feel like they just kind of have this nudge or this intuitive feeling or thought that if they walk away, they're going to regret it forever, right? Like they might not regret it in this moment because it's instant satisfaction and gratification to just release this shit and move the fuck on, as it has been heavy. 9 of Wands, right? 9 is right before the 10, bitch. 10 is the end. You're falling out, right? Because of the heavy load. 9 of Wands is more in the position of, this is worth it. Like, this is worth fighting for. I know we're bruised up. I know we've said some things, but we haven't said things that are so detrimental that we can't, like, compromise, right? We never even tried to compromise. Compromise is right over the 9 of Wands. Can't stop my mind from escaping to the world only you and I know. Yeah, they are definitely fantasizing about the times that they've had with you in all senses of the word, as well as the times that they desire to have with you moving forward. So when they do get these ideas in their mind that to just walk away and let it go, it is the moments in which they want to still share with you that's like, you can't do that. Like, then you'll never have that. Then you will never experience that with them. You will never feel that again. We have Verge. I'm about to confess my true feelings. Please be willing to listen. Oh, I want to know where this is going. I'm excited. Now, the timing is going to be different for all of you. Because for some of you, they're like teetering the fence. They're back and forth on this. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, right? Like, don't really know what's the right approach, right? Are you in this kind of energy because the both of you have kind of turned away? Nobody's making a move. They definitely don't know where you stand on things, even though they would like to know, right? They can only guess. But eventually, I feel like they're just going to have to do this because, yeah, somebody going to have to do it. Either you or them is what I should say. Somebody has to move on this, okay? If you still want this, if you still want it, they do want you. They want you. They love you. I had to whisper that one. Don't start cursing me. They love you. Child. They like Aquarius is all over there, fine as fuck, single as fuck. No, I know dudes is in her DMs. I know girls are hitting you in your DMs, especially if you put up a status, I'm single as a dollar bill, okay? Quoting fab and shit. Like, damn. So a part of them is like, I ain't budging on this, fuck that. You know what I'm saying? And the other part is like, shit. What if somebody else moves in on my girl? What if somebody else moves in on this, on him? You know, what if somebody else has more courage than me? They're also wondering, what if they don't like me? You know, what if they don't like me anymore? What if they're not into this anymore? What if they feel like I'm too much? What if they feel like the fighting is just way too much? You know, what if I went over the limit? What if we've gone over the limit, right? Past the point of return. And that could be the case for some of you, even though I don't feel that very strongly. You know, you have to be the one to decide whether or not that's you. All I know is they want you. They want you in the worst way. Let's see what additionally they would like to add to this. What additionally would you like to add to this? Thank you so much. So we have, okay. Yeah, in the shadows. So we have not the right time that came out twice. Right? So lots of stagnation in this connection, even though all the other cards, like in the near future, suggest that this has the potential to go all the way. Six of Wands is a victory. It is, you know, feeling like you won. It is being victorious. It is forward movement. It is celebrations, right? However, there are a lot of underlining reasons, right? It could be subconscious thoughts. There's lots of overthinking here. So we already know that Aquarians are known to overthink, right? I feel like if you are also dealing with somebody who's known to overthink, that's why we got all of this. You see what I'm saying? I'm driving myself crazy. Thoughts of you keep consuming me, right? So as soon as they think, I'm just going to let this go, I'm just going to, you know, let it unfold the way it's supposed to unfold, then their mind starts unraveling. You see what I'm saying? They're like, okay, fine. I'll move on it. I'll say something. I'll do something small. I'll plant a couple of seeds, kind of, you know, test the waters. And then as soon as they get ready to send that text, they delete everything they wrote. You know what I'm saying? As soon as they get ready to send the email, they delete that shit. Pull your name up on the phone. They're like, oh, no. Turn it off. Maybe I should call private. Nope. No. And as I already stated prior, wondering if they're in danger, right? Like of losing you, or be single forever if I don't move on this, if I don't say something. I haven't felt like this before, and I highly doubt. So this is the type of person who's not, they don't settle. You see what I'm saying? If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, right? Like they're not going to just try to force something together. So if you decide to move forward and don't want to be with them, then they'll be single for quite some time. And this is something that they know. That's okay, right? They're not trying to force it just because they don't want to be single. They just kind of know that this feels like a dynamic that they haven't felt before, right? It is special for them, you guys, okay? And it would absolutely be detrimental to their heart, okay? To their feelings, to their mind, all of the above, to see you move forward with someone else, right? See somebody else getting the opportunity, or see someone else taking advantage of the opportunity, because you have given this person a chance. You've given them multiple chances, in fact. They feel like they've given you multiple chances, in fact. So what are we going to do? You know, what do you guys want to do is the actual question. I feel like the potential for this to work is beautiful. It is high. The percentage is high. So we have learning. Okay, so they could also be fantasizing about embracing you, like hugging it out, you know, having the conversations that are difficult for somebody who hasn't had them before, especially if they've never really dated someone like you before. It's just different, right? We also have let's try again. Okay, so we have that coming in, you guys. You're going to have to decide, you know. Now, depending on how long it takes them to move on this, we'll definitely decipher where you are in your journey, if you've already moved on, if you're already involved, or if you're just over this, right? So I don't suggest that they wait a long time, but we just have to go and see, okay? So if you have resonated with this message, we're going to hop over to the extended. Let's see where this is all going. Okay. How is this going to turn out? Is it worth your while? Is it worth your time? Is it worth your energy, your effort? Is there anything underlining that you need to worry about, or that we need to look into that may suggest that this won't work and it's a waste of your time? We'll also look at that. I want to know their intentions, their next steps, of course, right? Some time frames, all the things. We're going to look at a multitude of things just to kind of get you the most information possible, and also get you prepared for when they move on this, okay? So without further ado, click the like button, click the subscribe button, and the notification bell. I'm going to put the link for the extended reading down below in the description box. I'm going to see y'all over there. Let's go.